parables of Jesus are so full of depth and meaning that honestly we could meditate on them for the rest of our lives. And if we are open, we would draw more and more insight and beauty, nourishment, meaning from them. It's almost like the parables of Jesus adjust to our lives and our situation. Today the church offers us this beautiful reading from the Gospel of Luke, the 15th chapter of the Gospel of Luke. Very important chapter, remember it, because it's the chapter on the mercy of God, the love of God. Mercy is simply an expression of love. It needs to be there. The Catechism of the Catholic Church says, and I love that, it says that there are three expressions of love, or three fruits of a life of love. If we truly love, how do we know that I love? Well, I see these three realities in my life. And they are peace, mercy, and joy. Peace, mercy, and joy. And that's why we must continually seek to love. Sometimes we want to bypass love and we just want to get peace. Or we want to get joy. And the world has lots of people trying to sell those realities. Well, we can't bypass. There are no shortcuts to the reality of the fruits of peace, mercy, and joy. The only pathway to them is through love. And so we must continually seek and desire to love. In the gospel for today, we have two parables that Jesus offers. In both cases, in these parables, we have people who have experienced a loss. So Jesus sets things up by saying, here is someone who has lost something precious. And then once that person goes through the struggle of trying to find it, once he and she finds the lost sheep, the lost coin, they can't help but rejoice. Not only do they feel joy, they call all their friends. And they say, you have to rejoice with us. Come, rejoice with me. It makes me think of, we live in this subdivision now as we're waiting for the new rectory. And sometimes, when we feel something very strongly, we want others to experience it with us. There's always lots of kids in this subdivision. They're riding their little bicycles. And they're always excited when I drive by, because many of them know me from the schools, school visits. One time I was outside and I was washing my car, and one of the little boys from across the street, he was along with the other ones, and he recognized me, and so he was screaming, "Hi, Father Kuzma." Hi. Then he was so excited to see me, he forced all his other friends to come over. And he forced all of them to say, "Hello, Father Kuzma," to me. He said, "This Father Kuzma, you say hello to him. You say hello." It was so beautiful. But that's it, eh? Like when we feel something deeply, we want to share it. We want others to have a part in it. We don't rejoice in private. That's not how we're made. And so here we have that beautiful parable that says, in order for us to truly experience joy, we have to accept the reality of suffering. There are dark moments in our lives. There is suffering, there is loss, there is pain, there is discomfort. But God has made things so beautiful that He permits us through this suffering to rediscover even a greater joy. And that's really the pathway of our spiritual life, isn't it? Things are often missing. We're dissatisfied. We may go through the dark moments. We may feel like we've lost something that we once had. In those moments, it's so important to remember not only that we haven't lost everything, but that if we persevere through that, we will experience even a greater joy. I imagine that the man, if he had never lost a sheep, he wouldn't have experienced such a joy in it. But because he lost it, gave him an opportunity to find it. If the woman never lost one of the coins, her precious coins, probably never think twice about it, would never have a party of rejoicing. But because she lost it, and she went through the struggle of finding it again, couldn't help but say, "Come on, everybody, rejoice with me." And so here we have not only the pathway to our spiritual life and the beauty of the gift of faith God gives us, always through these moments of pain and ache that lead to the fullness of joy, but we also have the heart of God presented to us. Because if you flip it, you will know that God is telling us about his own story. He created human beings, and then he lost them. And through the pain and suffering, including the fulfillment of that in Jesus, his Son, dying on the cross, he received them again, but now with an even greater joy. That's why he can say, there is greater joy in heaven over one repentant sinner, over one who was lost and now is found again, than over those who would never have been lost to begin with. And the point is, we have all been lost to God. And we all, when we come back to him over and over again, give him that profound joy. So, the beauty of the parables of Jesus touch deeply into our human experience, into our interpersonal relationship with each other, and the beauty of the gifts that God offers us if we persevere, if we just do our best in those most difficult moments. We don't give up, we continue on until we receive the fullness of peace, mercy, and joy. Amen?
Amen.